Okay. The record button's up. This is episode 9 of the DWalkerFitness podcast. Special guest today is Dan Rayner, the Pure Elite Beachbody World Champion. 5 times now, which is pretty amazing. But no, welcome.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me.
That's cool. It's a pleasure to have you on. Like I said just before, it's a very surreal feeling seeing who you are in the industry to having you on and asking some questions. It's going to be exciting. And how long have you got?
As long as you want, mate.
No, that's fine. It's just
not exactly busy, are we?
No, this is it. We've got a lot of time. It has said at the top here it's 40 minutes. Normally the recording is as long as we want. So I'm not sure if Zoom have changed or anything. So if it does cut off after 40 minutes, we'll get you back on and we'll carry on. But we'll see what happens anyway.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, it's a bit of a warning.
Depends how many questions you got for me, really.
Yeah, that's true. I've got here around 15-ish. Some are very similar. Some are thereabouts. So we'll go for it. So if you had to introduce yourself, how would you do it? Who is Dan Rayner? What do you do? And kind of like a bit of a background to who you are and who people are listening and watching.
So I'm Dan Rayner. I'm a PT and online coach. I've been in the industry for like 10 years now. And I first competed in 2015 with Pure Elite. And then I won my first world title in 2015.
No way.
And ever since then, I've done every single year, apart from the one that you won. And I've won it 5 times, out of the 6 that it's been.
No way. No, we'll delve into the year. So Claire, who's my kind of researcher, I call her. So she's sent me some questions just a bit more in detail. So we'll go through them. And the first one is what you've just said. Actually, it says, "Is it true?" Oh no, sorry. Slightly backtrack. So she's asked the first question. So, is it true you got into the fitness industry accidentally via work experience placement? Is that true?
Of course, she's done a research. So I kind of just fell into it. So when I was at school, I always loved sport and just playing football. And I guess I always loved like doing weight training, but not really to the extent obviously I do now.
Yeah.
I always had like bits in my room. I do like, I don't know, press ups and sit ups, just the things that all the lads used to do. And then, so I went to sixth form, went to college, did a fitness instructing course just because it was either, I think back in my early life, I was quite lazy. I didn't really have much drive. And it was either go and do college, the fitness instructing course, or it was either go and get a job. And I chose to go to college instead.
Yeah.
Once that had finished, that was only a year course. So I got my level 2 gym instructing. So I wasn't actually level 3 personal trainer then. That was just gym instructing.
Mm-hmm.
I went on the dole for like a year. So yeah, that was like low point. That was bad.
Right.
And then the job centre forced me in to do work experience in my local leisure centre just because the only thing that I had on my CV really was a fitness instructing course. So they said, go and do work experience, and then that could be your foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no option but to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I had no option but to do it because I wouldn't get my dole money, obviously. So I had to go and do that basically. Yeah. So I worked for free for around 2 to 3 months.
No way.
Paid. Just went in, did a few, worked alongside other people, but kind of worked for free for 2 to 3 months. And then one day I got introduced to the big boss. And then that was my foot in the door. Started to get work, started to do gym shifts. That's how it started. And
no way.
So that was like, oh my God, that was 10 years ago.
That is a crazy story. I really like that.
I feel like I've gone from no drive whatsoever to like the most driven person possible.
I wouldn't have thought that would be kind of the way in. No, that's crazy.
That was the way in, mate. And if I didn't do that work experience, I wouldn't have won 5 world titles, I guess.
No way. That is fantastic. No, I love that. Amazing. I don't know. That's just like throwing everything out the I just didn't expect that. That's crazy. But no, I bet a lot of people didn't know that. But no, but it shows what you can do if with a little bit like a little mindset change and a bit of kind of pressure and a bit of guidance, and all of a sudden you've done.
I knew deep down I'd sort my life out. I knew I had to. Couldn't not have a job forever. couldn't live on 50 quid a week, could I? So,
no way. No,
I was
amazing.
forced into it, and then obviously, never look back.
No, amazing, amazing. Well, we'll keep going through. So next one says the beginning of your journey. Your first fitness show. It says here first fitness show in 2015, where you placed fourth in beachbody category. Why beachbody? What made you decide to compete, and how did you feel about the whole process? So why did you choose that category in the first place?
Okay, so how I first got into like even attempting to do a show, I think I've been in the industry for like 5 years then, and I was getting a bit bored with the gym shifts, and I didn't really think it just wasn't challenging anymore. And I thought I need to go and put myself out there. I need to go and do something that's going to really put me out of my comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah.
So my friend actually asked me if I wanted to do a show. Never heard of anything like it before. Never heard of Pure Elite.
Yeah.
And we signed up. And then obviously I was looking through the categories, and I'm not the biggest lad in the world, far from it. I looked at the physiques and who had won the previous shows, and I guess Beachbody was my closest look.
Yeah.
I wasn't big enough for fitness model, I wasn't big enough for anything else. Even though I entered them categories, but I guess you just go and do the show, and you don't know what to expect. You just go and do it. But I felt like I even questioned myself whether I was like big enough for Beachbody. I was like, because I didn't know, I'd never done that before.
Yeah.
I never had an amazing physique. So then my friend actually backed out of doing the show. And then I thought, well, I'll pay for it now. So lump it and just do it.
Yeah.
And that was it, mate. I prepped all myself, did all my posing myself. I didn't know anything. And then looking back at photos, I wasn't actually happy with how I looked.
Yeah.
But obviously, as the industry's grown, Pure Elite's grown, physiques get better and better and better. So at the time, obviously was a good enough for fourth place.
Yeah. No, amazing.
So I missed the World Championship qualifiers by one place, because the top three were going to get invited to the World Championships.
No way. Is that how it used to work?
Yeah.
No
So
way.
Stuart Armstrong then emailed me 2 weeks later as a wild card entry.
Yeah.
So
I
shouldn't have even been there.
Oh man, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. So the next question says, after your first competition, you were offered a wild card. So Claire really has done.
Oh, she's doing well, isn't she? Needs to meet this girl.
This is mad. So you invited to Purely Amateur World Finals in November 2015. You must have felt.
Yes, there wasn't a amateur or pro then. That was just a standard show.
Oh, okay. No way. I never knew that.
There was no pro division then.
No way. So I'm learning something new as well. That's fun. It's amazing how much it's evolved to what it is now. It's like
it's absolutely crazy, mate. Absolutely crazy.
I reckon it must be mental for you to see where it was and where it is now. You've literally been there from kind of the start and seen it just evolve and get better and grow. And
it just gets harder every time. And the people, I think we're purely such a nice federation as well, as you know. It's like as much as people always say it's a family, it really is. Like when you go backstage, you know everyone.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've grown. Like there's probably about 20 people that I know just for Instagram I've become really good friends with. Like you don't necessarily see them in person, but you talk all the time on Instagram. They're like your Instagram family and friends because you just started doing the shows with them, and then you just always have known you've grown up with them. Yeah.
It's a strange feeling when you meet someone that you've spoken to on Instagram, and then it's all of a sudden you see in person.
It feels like I know them.
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange. But no, it's then he says the rest of the questions. How did you feel to place first and become world champion on that? That must have been pretty mad.
It's actually quite funny because I think there must have been about 20 lads who entered that category that year. And I was like, obviously the people so I did the qualifier and it was 8 weeks later than the world championship was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I had it's 10 weeks, sorry, because I had 8 weeks to then prep for it. Obviously, once I had the experience of going on stage the first time, I kind of knew, like, if I looked at what the lads were doing who came first, second and third, you can see on stage they're a bit more confident than me. They're a bit more getting the crowd involved. So I knew kind of what I had to go and do. Like, I'm quite shy and reserved. I don't really, outside of fitness, I'm quite shy. I barely speak to anyone just because that's the way I am. But on stage, you've got to try and, it's an act. So my stage, Dan Rayner, isn't me Dan Rayner, if you like, but I'd rather win
Yeah.
than not show confidence on stage.
Yeah.
It was pretty. I didn't expect it. I mean, obviously, and I actually, because obviously Beachbody is a freestyle routine. You do your own thing. There's no apart from the quarter turns. There's no specifics. When you do your T-walk, you choose what you want to do.
Yeah.
I actually mucked it up, and I was so angry after I mucked up the thing. But the judges didn't know that because no one knows what the routine is. But I missed about 3 poses. I came off stage and I was so angry. I was like, I've ruined that. And then I went and did fitness model category, and I was quite happy with that.
Yeah.
And then so when they started calling out the numbers for Beachbody, it was like obviously 5th place, 4th place, 2nd. And when they said second, that was Nathan, who won the show that I did 10 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I thought I've even not placed, so I've won it. And then when they said my name, it was ridiculous. My knees were just shaking. And then I just hear my family in the crowd go absolutely mental. Then I probably didn't sleep for about 2 weeks after that.
No, I bet. Did you? Which show was it you recorded a few vlogs? Because I've pretty much watched all your vlogs about 18 months ago when I was kind of getting into it. So I was watching what you were doing. How many?
I think I filmed every show apart from the one I just did.
What you said. I remember seeing.
I gave up because for me, like social media, like as you know, Instagram's like a full-time job.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like I've got to focus on business, Instagram, YouTube. There's just so much. What am I going to commit to? So I put YouTube aside because it was just too much.
Yeah.
So I didn't vlog that one.
See, sorry, the YouTube helped me because I remember we were trying to get Beachbody footage, me and a few of the guys who were doing it, to see what the kind of standard was and what you guys were doing. Then I came across your YouTube channel. I remember telling you this on stage, and I was like, this guy seems like quite shy, but then quite confident. And then on stage, I was like, who's this? This isn't the same person who was just speaking on the vlog.
Doing his win, mate.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. But no, people don't know. I spoke to Dan Rayner last year and said, like, again, he was a big inspiration for me. And then the confidence that he showed on stage, I tried to mimic that for me. Like you said, outside of doing the competition, I'm quite shy. I am a coach, but like one-on-one in the gym, I'm fine. The second you go out of the gym or anything else,
that's because fitness is your comfort zone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
if anyone asks you a question, you feel like you know the answer. So
yeah,
fitness is the safe place.
yeah. Anything else is start shaking, start get a bit anxious. But no,
well, if I get wrong, on stage, my knees are trembling. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah, true.
I get worried. So when I'm on stage, like my knees are trembling during all the posing routine. I'm actually shaking. But you look back at the videos and you don't see it. But at the time, you think you're actually like you're like, oh my god. You hope the crowd don't see it, and you'll see in the videos you can't see it. But I promise you now, I'm shaking quite a lot.
Oh, man, it's a hard feeling to kind of describe as well. But no, like shake your legs and feel a bit numb and
it's weird. Just a blur.
Good though. I think it's good.
Yeah, good after.
Yeah, we'll keep blasting through these and see where we go. Because, like I said, a lot of it we have brushed up on with the competing. It says here that your next competition was April 2016 with Pure Elite, competing for the first time an international male model. Tell us about this category and how did you do on that day, if you remember?
Yeah, so I think so when I won the 2015 title, obviously you're so buzzing. Looking back, if I did it again, I probably wouldn't have done that show.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're buzzing so much, you go, when's the next one? Let's go and do it. Yeah, great. That's when Stuart Armstrong for the first time took Beachbody out of it. It wasn't a Beachbody.
Yeah.
So it was even, I was like, okay, well, international models come in now. And I guess there's no specific body requirements.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter. So that didn't matter to me because I'm obviously not going to say I'm not the biggest lad. But I had got a history of doing some modelling before.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I never actually wear smart clothes anyway. So we might as well give this a go. I came third.
No way.
Came third. But I actually got a pro card as well. So I actually have 2 pro cards.
It's like everyone, I feel like from what you've said so far, like each show you're learning a bit more about yourself, a bit more about the federation. The federation's learning along the way. And you're just taking each show in your stride and just taking each one and just progressing each one and getting stronger each time.
So I wasn't. So when I think because you're buzzing so much, I was winning the first one. you kind of put this pressure on yourself, and like, I guess people around you then going to expect you to do well. So when I came third, I wasn't happy about it. Of course you're not. Like, you want to win. But there's being unhappy, and then there's being horrible about it.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'll take it on the chin. Rather than doing that, I thought, I want to get it at the end of the year. That was my big goal then.
Yeah. No way. Right. Well, so it says now, November 2016, competing at Pure Elite Worlds show at O2, you retained your Beachbody World title and won it to become the Pro World Champion, as well as a Pro International Male World Champion.
So that's when I won it.
That's why you won it. Amazing. I think this is nuts. Like, it's just like
that was my best. I will never ever beat that feeling ever again. Like, at the O2 stage to win all my categories.
Yeah.
And then I placed third out of the entire pro show. Didn't expect that. That's the most emotional I've ever been. Like, and seeing my mum like crying in the crowd, like, oh my god, you're gonna set me off in a minute. It's just like walking out the O2 with like 3 different massive trophies, and they're big trophies as well.
Yeah, the images that you've seen.
Like, the overall third place trophy is absolutely massive. It's so heavy.
Now, so they gave out trophies for everyone in the overall.
So when I did overall, Stuart Armstrong had top 3 overall.
No way.
So I came third out of the entire show, which I was ridiculously overwhelmed by. But I was so happy at that point then, because I won them ones. I was like, I don't know why I'm stood here, but I'm not really that bothered. And then he said my name for third, and I was like, what the hell? And you can see in the video on YouTube, I'm actually shaking my head. It looks like I'm disappointed, but I'm literally so shocked. I'm like, I didn't expect that one.
Now, again, it says here, where does this rank amongst your greatest achievements? So you've said they're absolutely up there. That is.
I think that's the best feeling I've ever had. Because the occasion, it was the O2. It was a night. It was such a nice stage. It was such a nice stage as well. And I think the arena made it, just in London, and then to retain the beach that I really wanted.
Yeah.
There was quite a few people in that category as well.
Yeah.
So actually, I think there wasn't a male model. I didn't actually expect to win. I thought I would, because when they said they started to count down again, when they said third, I thought I'm going to come second, because James Ferguson, he came second and he looked smart, and I thought he's definitely pipped me. But lucky enough, I won.
Oh man. Right. So the way I've written down the questions, I've got like a few just to kind of break the competing stages up, and then we're going to get back into it again. It says, how important has it been for you to set yourself goals, just in general? So, like, you set a goal to win a competition. Why do you think it's so important that you've set goals, and can you kind of elaborate on that at all?
Business, I guess.
Yeah.
It got to the point where, so the first maybe 2 shows, I'm doing that for myself. I'm doing that, putting myself out of my comfort zone. I'm not doing that to prove anything. I'm just going to do that for me and my family, and just hopefully make some good memories.
Yeah.
I mean, I think once the O2 was done, I think it was then the mindset of like, okay, I'm starting to notice now that I'm winning shows, I'm getting more exposure, my business is growing. People can see that I'm passionate. People can see that, oh my God, he can get in shape.
Yeah.
Because I think once I'd done it for a year, I'd learned how my body responded. My first prep was not great because I didn't know what I was doing. By the time I got to 2016, okay, I'm kind of know what I'm doing now. I'm getting better. Yeah. My physique's looking better and better. And for me, I think it's just business now.
Yeah. No, perfect.
It's business and trying to create records. Because once Stuart Armstrong told me no one's ever done 3, no one's ever done 4, I was like, okay, let's go for it then.
Yeah, no, I love that. No, I think a lot of people can learn from that, and just again, you got to ask yourself why you're doing it for, and are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for business? People kind of just do it for the hell of it and haven't really got a point to doing it.
No, I definitely had a point. I think the thing is, I never. I don't think I'm not one of these genetically gifted people. I know I could have had some time off and put a bit more size on. I could have maybe stepped up a category. But looking at that as now, I'm still not big enough. I know I'm not. I can't compete with the fitness models. I'm just not big enough. So I thought, okay, rather than doing that, let's just try and dominate the male model and the Beachbody categories. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
I was quite happy with how big I was. I was quite happy with my size. My physique's changed quite a lot, and I have got more muscle on that, but I still fit in categories.
See, I remember seeing the photographs just before you competed this year, and I was just like, "What have you been doing?" Like over lockdown, like you looks like you have put more muscle on. You look massive. Like,
But it's crazy what a kilogram can add to your mass. And obviously you get better at posing. Obviously, like it's also social media. I'm going to post some of the best photos. Of course I am.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I took 30 selfies to get the best one. Come on, we all do it.
No, that's awesome. The next question, again, they're a bit of a breaker from the competing one, is tell us about your career as a personal trainer. So, in regards to maybe how you started and what you are doing now.
Okay, so I did my work experience, got my foot in the door. I was quite lucky. Then my boss at the time then basically created hours for me.
Yeah.
So the gym I worked for, there's 3 centres. There was one centre a bit more of a travel away from my house. Mm-hmm. That's where I worked for a year. And there was going to be a new centre open up where I live.
Yeah.
So I was kind of getting trained to then go into that gym full time. So then I started to go into that gym full time. I did about 2 years, and then I did my personal training level 3.
Yeah.
So then I had that qualification, and then I started to do some PT on the gym floor, which I like doing. I wasn't crazy about it because it's not the biggest gym.
Yeah.
And if you go in with a client at 5 p.m. and you've planned a workout, you ain't getting on nothing because it's so busy. Yeah. So I was literally planning 5 workouts for one client, just in case I couldn't get on something. So I carried on doing that. And then I guess I kind of lost the love for it a little bit because a gym shift's a gym shift. It's a lot of cleaning.
Yeah.
It's just some days you're not doing much and you see the same faces. It gets you get into that, what's the word? You get into a rut and it's just the same thing all the time. I was like, I need something different. So then I started competing, and then I was lucky enough to use one of my close friends' studios for personal training. Yeah. So then I started to build my clients up. And as I got my clients higher and higher, I then started to drop gym shifts away.
Yeah.
Drop it away. And then last year, I then started to hire out another studio as well. So then I had access to 2 studios.
Yeah.
And so once I got there, I had the clientele enough. I thought, I want to go for it. So then I quit my job on a gym instructor floor.
Yeah.
And now I'm just a full-time personal trainer. And then I started doing my online business maybe properly 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then that's a great platform for me to do that then, because obviously people can't always come and see me in person.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I've built up my reputation through like Instagram and stuff. People trust me. I've got lots of client testimonials to prove it.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, just a now full-time one-to-one PT and a online coach.
Nice. Again, I feel like you've another experience where you've just built yourself up, and so like often you just go to the next stage and the next stage and the next stage.
Yeah. It feels like a life of stages, but it doesn't happen overnight. It's taken me 10 years to get to the point where I am now.
Amazing.
I worked in the gym floor for 9 years. It wasn't like I just went in there, did a personal training degree. I've got loads of clients. Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
This is it, and this is the point. I'm like, a lot of people don't realize. You see people, I want to be a coach, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I don't think people realize how tough it actually is. And then Dan's just explained here, he worked on the gym floor for a lot of hours and maybe doing some things he didn't want to do, and then worked his way up to now, and it's taken a long time. Or people just think, oh, I'll do a qualification and I'll be a PT overnight. And people tell me all the time, I'll just be a PT. And I'm like, you've really got to grind to get there. And
also, I feel like you could be the worst PT in the world, but if you're good around people, it doesn't really matter. Like you could be the best, you could have the best knowledge and the most experience in everything in the world, but if you're not good with people, then your client base probably isn't going to be very good.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's another thing as well people don't take into account.
Yeah.
Like clients don't just fall on your lap. You got to prove it.
Yeah. No, I think people can learn from that massively. I think it's people, I don't know. I think nowadays it's people think everything just comes dead easy to them, and people think like, I don't know. I feel like with society, everything's like handed to people, and people just expect it on a plate. And like if people went on your Instagram, they wouldn't know straight away how much you've grinded over those years to get there. People go, oh, he's a PT, I can do that. And I'm like, you don't know the half the story.
I didn't actually start Instagram until 2014.
2014.
6 years.
6 years.
So 4 years I didn't do Instagram and I started my career.
God.
It was just like one day I was like looking at somebody else and I thought, oh, they're doing Instagram. And then it got, how confident can I be now to just take my top off and take a photo and say, I don't know, this is a bicep workout. Whereas now it's like, yeah, put your pants on, Dan, let's get a photo, job done. Whatever. So yeah, it's crazy how it's develops, but you get to the point where you start to not care what anyone, you just do. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
If you don't want to follow me, then that's absolutely, I'm not forcing you to follow me.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like my content, that's up to you. Just don't follow me.
Yeah.
But if you want to follow me, then great. I'm going to put up loads of tips and stuff like that, as well as my journey. So,
no, I think your Instagram is very appealing as well in terms of the content quality, and the variety is massive. And I think there's tips every day. Workouts.
I like the realism.
Say again.
I like the realism.
Yeah.
Telling people like I might be okay on a stage in 8% body fat, but it ain't realistic. You're not going to stay there all the time.
Yeah. No, it's true. People misconceptions with things, but no, people can learn a lot from this and understand how much it's taken to get to where you are. But no, right, we'll keep blasting through. I'm worried about this timer going off in.
So you put it back on, mate.
We'll see what happens. Next one. So we've got April 2017. You competed in the Coleman Classic, placing first in International Male Model and second in the Fitness Tour.
I love that show.
How was that? So that's separate to Pure Elite.
That was Pure Elite. That was Tom Coleman's show in Pure Elite.
Your meeting will end in 10 minutes. This is new. I've got Pro, you see, and I've always used Pro, so I don't know why it's going to cut off. That's very strange. Apologies about the technical difficulties here. How strange. Right, what I might have to do is, when it hits like 5 minutes remaining, end save, and then I'll have to just recall and we'll carry on from where we left off. So in about 5 minutes, I'll just have to stop there, and then we'll carry on as normal, unless I can upgrade it as we go. I don't know why this is happening. I do apologize about this, Dan.
All right. I'll just click back on your email link, yeah?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me just... Here we go. So we're back. Apologies for the delay there, guys. We're back. Where were we? Oh, yeah, the Coleman Classic show.
Yeah.
Was that separate to Pure Elite then, or something completely different? Or
no, so that was Pure Elite. That was just Tom Coleman's show.
No way.
It was they were linked together.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it was still Pure Elite. Yeah.
Wow.
That was such a nice show. That
the Coleman Classic.
The venue was nice. The stage was huge. There wasn't too many people there, so backstage was really nice. Everyone was chatty. That was a huge stage.
It sounds amazing. So was Beachbody still there at that show?
It was all different. So even the fitness model was tall and short. It wasn't weight.
No way. It's changed so much.
Only for that show though.
Say again?
It was only for that show.
Only for that show. Ah, okay. Man, this is I don't know, a huge history of Pure Elite. I think it's fantastic. Next one here, I've got October 17th. You set yourself a goal to compete in 3 shows over 3 consecutive weekends.
Yeah. God, that killed me.
It said, how was that mentally and physically, and what happened?
Yeah, it was hard. I just, again, that was me getting to I did the Coleman Classic, and I was like, okay, right, how can I step it up now? How can I proper go out of that comfort zone? And I thought, okay, let's do 3 shows, but let's also do two new federations I've never done before.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can try and prove you can do it in somewhere else that isn't just Pure Elite.
Yeah.
So that was the main goal. And so I did, the first show was UK Ultimate Physiques.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a male model category. However, the look was more of a fitness model compared to Pure Elite.
Yeah.
So for me, also my goal was every show I've ever done, I've always placed.
Yeah.
I've never not come away with a trophy.
Yeah.
So for me, them 2 federations was about, let's just get a trophy.
Yeah.
If you get a trophy, I'll be very happy.
Yeah.
So I managed to get 4th place in. Actually, that's quite emotional because for the UK Ultimate Physique, they brought everyone out and they lined us all up at the back, and they announced the top 5, but didn't tell you the order you were in.
Yeah.
And they said my name first, and I was like, okay, didn't expect that. So I knew straight away that I placed somewhere and had a trophy of some kind.
Yeah.
And then, so I came fourth in that one.
Amazing.
But the lads who came third, second, yeah, they couldn't complain. They were big boys as well.
Yeah.
And then I did, a week later, I did Miami Pro.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So they had what was it now? Yeah, it was fitness model under 75 and over 75.
Mm-hmm.
And then a male model category again, but it wasn't smart. It was just underwear.
Yeah.
I didn't place in that one, but I literally scraped a 5th place in the fitness model.
Yeah, nice.
Like, just got a trophy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's gold ticked off for them 2 weeks. I managed to get a trophy. That's great. And then went and did pure elite, and then it was the same goal. Let's see if we can win 3 times in a row. Let's try and get a Beachbody World title. And then I did male model as well.
Yeah. And that went well.
I won Beachbody, then I came second in international model.
No, man. Still another first in Beachbody as well. It's cool. I can't believe the quantity of shows. Like, as I'm reading through, I've already read the questions before I came on, and then I reread them again now, and you think, this is a lot. Like, I know people compete a lot, and I think it's phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal. I bet you were tired after that.
Yeah, God. But again, that was like, okay, goal done. There we go. And then I knew from that point, then once I'd done them 3 shows, I knew I would not compete again until the end of the year after. I just knew I wouldn't.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, that did take it out of me. Especially because, like, you do one show, and then usually you can go, I can enjoy myself and have a bit of time off. Now you go, oh, mate, I've got 2 weeks left of this yet. So you kind of, I think after every single show, I had like a little bit of a high calorie meal, just let myself go a little bit. And then it was like, okay, straight back onto it. And I knew the next day was going to be legs. I was going to train legs after the show, just so my legs would be fresh for the next competition. So I couldn't have DOMs on stage and like try and tense my legs. It weren't going to happen.
Yeah.
So once Pure Elite had finished and I won that Beachbody, I was like, I think that was relief more than I'm happy.
Yeah.
I was like, you've done 3, well done. Okay. Now we can just enjoy Christmas.
It says on here, and then you had a year off, and then you came back in 2018 to do the Worlds, where you placed first in Beachbody, and that you were the first person to hold 4 back-to-back world titles, which is an incredible achievement. And he says, how did you manage your mindset in order to achieve what you've done up until that point?
I think it was pretty much just, as soon as I knew that no one had ever done 4 before, I was like, well, I'll be a mug not to go for it, wouldn't I, really?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I better go for this. And then, I don't know, like, I think it goes back to like business. Like, I was getting more clients, I was getting more exposure. It's nice to be recognised.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want it to continue.
Yeah.
And it's an addiction. Doing shows is an addiction. I won't lie, I think building up to the show, like the week before, I actually hate it. Like the anxiety, the stress, the headaches you get, like not because you're ill, you're just so scared and nervous and you want it so much.
Yeah.
You forget about all the, once you win, you forget about all the crap times that come with it.
Yeah.
But as you're going through them crap times, you're like, oh, why do I do this? And then it's like at the end you go, oh, okay, that's why I do it. There you go.
All worth it in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Always worth it. Always worth it.
I think experiences in life lessons and what you learn on the way, it's like you kind of don't know till you've done it. Like you've said, you finish your show and you think you've grown as a person, you've grown in the physique, you've grown in your confidence, you've grown in so many areas of your life, even though it's hell on earth for the final few weeks. But like you say, it's all worth it in the end.
Worth it.
Next one. Where are we? Okay, so now we've got another kind of mini break as a kind of life goes on. It's on another level. You've had a daughter, and how did being a dad change your perspective, or did being a dad change your perspective at all in regards to kind of yourself or competing and anything else?
So when Master was born, I decided that year I wouldn't compete that year.
Yeah,
that's when you won.
Yeah.
I knew straight away that I wouldn't do it then.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually I did prep that. Yes, I still prepped that year because that's when Stuart Armstrong announced that I would be the front cover of the magazine.
Ah, okay.
For the UK, so I still had to prep from January to April for my photo shoot.
No
So
way.
even that year, I still prepped for something.
Yeah.
But then obviously Stuart Armstrong then pulled me to one side and said, "Do you want to be a judge?" Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be an absolute honour. So the year I didn't do it was the year I judged it.
I think I remember seeing it when it came up, and I think, was it a post? I can't remember, but it was like you weren't competing, and it was like, damn. Like I was just in awe of everyone competing. I just wanted to meet you. And it was like, I obviously wanted to win, but it was a case of, I'd like to meet you, because you were kind of like, you had yourself, and then kind of Josh. I've seen Josh Blue and stuff flying around and on a few things, and then it was like you were there for me to aim for, and it was like, right, my physique, this is what I'm going for, and I thought it'd be pretty cool. And you were judging the show, and I thought, I'm going to get judged here by this guy, and it's like this. Yeah, that put me on edge a little bit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that was mad, absolutely. But no, I think I'd love to judge a show. And how did that feel judging? What was it like? Just sat there thinking, like you're in control, or you've got to say who does what and how it all works.
So when you're obviously on the show day, you know how long it is. Like you're there for 12 hours. Like it drags. You like time goes so slow because you want to get on stage and just do it.
Yeah.
And I judged that day went so quick. And like
as a judge.
Yeah, quick. And like now I can totally understand, like, not everyone's going to be happy with the outcome of the show. Not everyone's going to be happy with how they placed. But my God, like, I have all sympathy with the judges now. It is hard.
Yeah.
Like, especially like the mums that lift category. You got like 40 girls in the category.
Yeah.
You've literally got 30 seconds to look at things and just, you can't take your eye off it. It's like, and like if you like the lads, I remember the lads doing fitness models. That's like 4 lots of quarter turns. You're so tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard.
I'd love to see that, but no, I think it's. I always wanted to know what your opinion was of what it felt like to judge. That's something I always wanted to ask and just see what it would be like, just to watch the physiques. But I couldn't imagine seeing, say, 20, 30 people in a category and trying to pick a top 5.
Yeah, it was hard. Like sometimes the first and second was obvious in a way.
Yeah.
And then like, the hard things was like, okay, 4th and 5th. Yeah, it's difficult.
A good experience, though.
Yeah, I loved it. I'd happily do it again. It was amazing. But it's different. I think once you're watching it as well, like when I watched your category, I was like, I want to be up there now.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a very surreal moment, and then to see you on stage, it was like, this is mad. I can't really put it into words, and it was like I looked up to you and your physique, and you stood right there. Like, to know, it was an amazing moment for me, and I appreciate you being there and just being a part of my experiences as a competitor in the federation. But I think, yeah, it was phenomenal, really, really phenomenal. I can't even.
That was the only year Stuart Armstrong go, oh, this is the only year you bring a belt out, and I'm not competing. Nice one. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm glad you managed to get one. We'll come on to this very, very soon. Do you know how long we've been on for? 45 minutes, around something like that.
I know, mate.
Okay. No, that's cool. You're invited to judge double finals. Must be quite an honour. So we've gone over that. That's cool. It says, so the next one, it said you, in a way, you didn't compete. So in a way, there was a new beach body world champion, which was Damien. How did that feel? And was that emotional for you? So was it like, I don't know, like a bittersweet or a cool moment to be a judge, or were you just thinking, damn, I want to be...
Somebody breaking up, I can't really hear.
Let me check this. Okay. Is that better? Everything okay? Or is it frozen?
All broken up, mate. Don't know if you can hear me at all.
Yeah, I can hear you okay. You're frozen, but I can still see you. Well, no, I can still hear you. Can you hear me at all? Oh, there you go. You're moving now?
Yeah. I can do it now. Go on.
It's okay. It said it must have been an emotional moment, or was it emotional to kind of be on stage but not be competing? So just to see someone there. Obviously, it was myself, but how did that feel? Like, it must have been strange.
It felt quite nice because, like, obviously, when I gave you the belt, Lucy announced on the tannoy that this is the first time I was going to give it away to somebody else.
Yeah.
It felt, you know, it felt right. It didn't feel wrong. It felt right. I made the decision not to compete. I don't regret the decision at all. It was right thing to do. And yeah, I felt absolutely fine. I was happy for you, mate.
No, that's cool. No, I think yeah, the whole day was so surreal. It was just like it was like a dream. But one day, you never know, depending if the world ever gets back to normal again. But no, so now this is where we get kind of more present day. So this brings it up to present day. It says, yeah, you stood on the Pure Elite stage once again, and you regained your Beachbody World title for a 5th time, along with the Pro International Male Model. How did that feel?
Felt weird, obviously, this year because there was no crowd.
Yes.
People ask me, was that the weird thing? And again, as nice as it is, like having the crowd there and your family, but for me, it comes back down to, I'm going to do this just because no one else has done 5. No one's done 4, so I'm going to, okay, I'll just try and make it 5.
Yeah.
And then again, it was just like, business is going well. Everything's growing around me. Okay, let's just try and do this. Yeah, I don't know really how I felt. It's relief. Again, it's relief.
Yeah.
You're more relieved. Like, you're expected to win. I was expected to win.
Yeah.
So the pressure is massive.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the least, like, so when I competed in 2017, 18, I was backstage. I was so nervous. I felt sick. My knees were trembling. I wasn't as nervous this time, but I was still nervous. But yeah, I think it's more relief.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm still happy to win. It's like, you can see, if you've seen I don't know if you've seen the video, but I just clap so loudly, and you don't know if you're going to start crying. You don't know what. Yeah, it's amazing. And obviously, I had the belt, and that was what I wanted.
Yeah. I remember watching the stream, so I was like in and out of clients, and I managed to catch bits and rewind it, and I was like, "Where's Beachbody?" And I was just like trying to catch different bits, and to see with a belt, I thought, man, that's cool to see. Like, as a fan, like I'm a huge bodybuilding fan. I watch a lot of shows, and I just enjoy people. Like, I enjoy seeing people do well, and people who I care about, or like. Again, I'm watching you on stage. I knew Brett was competing, and I spoke to Brett beforehand, and it was like, I'm excited as a fan just to see, and it was like I knew what it meant.
I was with Brett the whole weekend, so
it's mad. But I don't know. Watch it, thinking, Mike, it must have been pretty cool to get the belt, and then again to win the Pro International Male Model. I thought that was pretty amazing as well. And then they move. Sorry.
No, so this year was different because of COVID. They were doing the awards were done after certain categories.
Yes.
So I knew I'd won beach before male model.
Yeah.
So I felt so confident.
Yeah.
It gave me the boost. So going into male model, I thought I'm going to do everything I can here.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have gone if I didn't win Beachbody. How would I have felt going into male model?
Yeah.
You're never going to know that.
Yeah.
It might have brought me down. It might have made me more geared up for it.
Yeah.
But I felt so comfortable and content going on stage for that male model one because I'd already won. Yeah. Like the main thing was done. My main goal was done. And then I haven't won male model since 2016 at the O2. Yeah. I came second 2017, 2018. So okay, this is going to be the year I'm going to get us back now.
Yeah. And you did it.
Yep.
How did he? I'm curious to. I've got a few questions from myself actually. It was like one was getting closer to the show. How did you feel with the whole COVID thing? How did you feel about knowing? Like, again, Stuart did have his kind of backup plans that he's posted about knowing the show would go ahead. Was there any moment where you thought there's a chance here that it's not going to go ahead? There's a chance this might not go ahead, like to carry on. Was there any nerves surrounding that, or were you confident?
Yeah, especially because they were saying like lockdown might happen in half term. Yeah, and I thought, okay, if they're going to do that, hopefully it'll be the Monday after. Then I'll just cram everything in then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're always thinking about it, but then Stuart said about there could be a virtual show instead, and I was like, okay, well, I'm still going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But I wanted to compete in April this year. But so once COVID had come in, then I kind of had it was a 7-month prep. It was long.
Yeah.
So if it got to 1 week out and he'd gone, oh, we can't do it, I'd be like, oh, you're joking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I can't tell you how I'd feel because you're never going to know, are you? I'm just lucky. I'm lucky I managed to squeeze it in.
Yeah. I think I remember sending you a message mid lockdown because again I was watching some of your workouts and filming stuff and whatever else, and then I remember messaging you saying like, how are you so lean here? Like, I was like, this is mad, and you were just like, well, just training, and then I was like, this is mad, this is crazy. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're looking really lean. Obviously, why? And when you posted saying I'm competing, I was just like, no way. That was like a bombshell. I thought my Instagram exploded. Everyone was just like, oh my God, have you seen this? And I'm like, what? And it's like, Dan Rayner's competing. I was like, that makes complete sense now why I look so lean in these videos.
I was always going to do it. I knew from when I judged the show, I knew I was going to do it. But this year I wanted to do a secret prep.
Yeah.
Pressure. Didn't want the pressure.
Yeah.
But obviously when we was lockdown, where I wasn't working, I was doing lots of daily movement. I was doing loads of walking. I was training in the garden. It was a lovely summer. Mm-hmm. I think where I was just training so much, it allowed me to have so many calories. Like, I think I was eating like literally sometimes at the end, like 3,500 a day. And for me, that's a lot compared to my history of what I've had calories wise.
Yeah.
So without sounding arrogant, it was easy to stay lean.
Yeah.
It was fine. And then I'd still have like weekends if I didn't track, where I was doing so much exercise, didn't put any weight on.
Yeah.
And also I use Instagram as like keeping mentally sane. Fitness is, as you know, fitness is mental health.
Yeah. And
for me on Instagram, I was like, I can get some really good content here. So filming stuff in the garden, even though obviously it looks nicer with a six-pack. but I also liked giving out useful tips, like using bands, using garden furniture, using a broomstick, using anything. And it just, trying to give out useful information, but also feeling good about myself and how I looked. Yeah. It's important.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. But it was interesting to see. And then, like I said, when all of a sudden it came out with the post, I was like, this is amazing. And I thought, what a great way to do it. And it just like in secret. And you posted the picture and it was like, a few of my clients were messaging me because again, they follow you and they're like, oh my God, we've seen this news. And I'm like, this is mad. Then Brett messaged me and he was like, I'm excited, I'm dead nervous. And it was.
I felt bad for Brett because he was like constantly asking, "You're doing it, you're doing it." I was like, "Oh," like, I had loads of people asking me, "You're going to do it this year?" Like, "Oh, I don't know." I just didn't tell anyone.
Did Stuart know?
Yeah, you know.
See, when did he know? I'm not sure.
I think it was like he was doing some like marketing stuff with Pure Elite, and I was like, "Just so you know, I'm doing it this year. Can you include me in the marketing? But I'm not going to announce I'm doing it." Yeah. Something like that. I think it was. He didn't know. I can't remember now. I'd have to look for messages. He didn't know straight away.
No way. I remember.
He got closer and closer. I was like, I'm gonna do it. So yeah.
You know, he said.
I didn't want to miss out on anything linked with Pure Elite.
Yeah.
Because no one knew I was doing it.
Yeah.
I think that was the main reason.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I think I don't know when he asked me. So when are you and Dan Rayner gonna go on stage? And I was like, I don't think he's doing the show. So I'm kind of trying to make sure my business is okay. My mental, again, I suffered quite a bit post show, and I just don't think I was ready. And I wanted a year out just to make sure I could sort my injuries out and just make sure my body's healthy. And he's like, "When are you competing?" And I said, "I don't think Dan's competing. So you need to ask Dan, and maybe I might do. I have no idea."
He might not have known then though.
No, this is it. So it's mad. No, I love that. But I think I would want to do something similar where the pressure's off. But then again, it's kind of good marketing building up to it as well, just to show up people what you're doing.
Oh yeah, so I always knew about 2 weeks before I was going to announce it because then my Instagram goes mental. Yeah, it's actually like like posted now. I was so excited as well. Like this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Loved it. A few close friends and family knew I was going to do it, but not social media world.
Yeah, that's fair. I loved it, mate. I think it was awesome. I thought it was an explosion of just like chaos. When I loved it, we'll keep going through. We'll keep blasting through. It says, you must be an expert now in comp prep after all those competitions. What advice would you give to a first timer?
Don't back out.
I love that. Yeah.
Don't back out. Like, I'll never regret it. Obviously, I don't regret it.
Yeah.
The first show, you're either going to fall in love with it or you're going to hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess from my history of what I've been doing and what I've seen on stage, you haven't got to have the best body in the world to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fitness modeling show. You're not purely based on your physique.
Yeah.
Practice your posing. Like, it's so underrated.
Yeah.
If you don't look confident on the stage, you're not going to win.
No. And this.
So I think displaying your physique is just as important about how good you look.
Perfect. I feel I want to snippet this little part and put that as a post, because the amount of people who don't practice posing, or the amount of people who I must talk about posing every single podcast. I think it's very
leave it last minute. Just no. You need to have it. Like, even though I've practiced a lot and I've done 10 shows now, so I've done a lot of posing practice.
Yeah.
I still forget. There was one year I can't remember what it was now. It might have been 2017. Mm-hmm. I just got to the X and went blank. Forgot everything. I was like, okay. I had to freestyle it there and then. But because you've done so much practice,
yeah,
it looked natural.
Yeah.
But the routine I did was nothing what I planned.
Yeah.
But even with all the practice and all that, and a bit of experience I have, you still forget. So if you're a brand new person, you want to have it literally second nature in your head, because as soon as you get onto that X, it's so overwhelming. The lights are on you, and it's like, okay. And then obviously, I think posing practice can sometimes get a bad rap from the people who don't understand doing competitions.
Yes.
Posing. You're a poser. Yeah, but it's not like that.
No.
So I can make myself look massive in one flare of my back.
Yeah.
It's so deceiving to the eye sometimes. And it's also practicing, so posing practice for me, you know, it's like, if you're on stage, you're tired, you might start to cramp up. It depends how long they hold you in certain poses. You've got to practice being in that position. It's like holding a plank for like an hour. Your abs are so tight and tired and they're cramping. You need to practice that.
Yeah.
And and also a big bit of advice, maybe when you get 2 weeks out from the show, don't practice in front of a mirror, because when you're on stage, you ain't got a mirror.
Yeah. I fell into that one a little bit, where my mirror posing was 100% perfect. And then I started to video record myself posing, and it was completely gone. And I had a panic about 2 weeks out. This was the first show. And it was, people don't realize how much of a difference it makes. Like, when you see yourself in the mirror, your body will adjust because you can see yourself. When you can't see yourself, your angles are all off, and
And also, you can never mimic that feeling once you're on stage. Like, you could be in the gym, you got a great pump, you feel good, you're in the mirror posing. Yeah, I look good. Best pose. Yeah, great. Get to the day of the stage, you go, oh my god! Like, you can never recreate that nerve, that tension.
Yeah. Perfect. No, great bit of advice.
Posing, I'd say, is probably the one.
Say again?
Posing, and don't back out of doing it. Just go and do it.
Yeah, go and do it. You heard it here first.
No one's gonna think you're being silly, or you're not gonna embarrass yourself, because everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah. It's a strange one. Like, you're all there. You're all there in your basically your trunks. You've all prepped all that time. You may as well just go and do it anyway.
You actually stop caring. Like when I have my tan done now, and we've all got a sock on it, like, you don't care anymore. you don't care.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna get a spray tan. Yeah, I'm gonna look weird in public for a week. Just accept it and get on with it.
Yeah. So that was something I had no clue about, and I thought it was a myth. I didn't believe it was real, and people kept telling me it's real, and I'm like, "You kidding?" And then we turned up on day one, and they were like, "Have you got your sock?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, got a sock on it."
You're joking.
I've still got my O2 one, mate. The Hulk. Never. I use that one every time now. That's the winning sock.
Yeah, don't forget your sock. Next one. What's your favourite part or least favourite part of show day?
I think the favourite part's obvious, winning.
Yeah.
That feeling once you know you've won, It's just, you're never going to recreate that. That's unbelievable. So winning is the best part, obviously.
Yeah.
I guess like once it's all sunk in, you come away from it, then you go onto your social media platforms, you then start to realize, actually, I've made some friends here.
Yeah.
I've made some good friends.
Yeah.
So that as well, meeting people. The worst thing is, it's got to be the weight. Some people act it differently. Some people will say they're not nervous. Some people will just get on with it and be like, I'm really excited. Like, I'm not excited to go on stage. I'm too nervous.
Yeah.
I'm too worried about not winning. So I think it's just a build up. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I won't lie to you.
No, I would agree. The nerves, and then my other.
Also think me going on Dan pre-stage is different to Dan after stage, because I'm so nervous. I'm quite quiet and reserved backstage.
Yeah.
It's not being rude. I'm trying to remember my pose in my head. I'm trying to remember routines. I don't want to. You got one shot at this.
Yeah.
It's not like Stuart's going to say, "Oh, do you have another go?"
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. You got one shot, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the shyness then, and like you reserve yourself a bit. I don't want to know who's in my category. I don't care what you're doing. I'm going to focus on myself.
Yeah.
So I think the build up is awful, because you start to get nervous. You start to take yourself away from people when you don't want to, but you just, I do anyway, naturally do.
Yeah.
Because I want to focus.
No, I completely agree. Do you delete the email when they get the registers with all the competitors on? No.
Just don't look at it.
Okay, yeah.
I'll go, Dan Rayner. Right, that's it, done.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
also, a week before, I must look bad on people's social media, because I don't look at anyone on social. Like 2 weeks before, I won't go on anyone else's stuff. I'll just do my own stuff.
Yeah.
As soon as I've posted my stuff, log off.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to think, that's worrying me now. Just because I've seen it before, like someone's got a better body than me, but if they're not very good on stage, then you don't know what they're going to be like on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't look at their Instagram and go, "Oh, he looks good." Yeah, but how's he going to look on stage? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I really like that, and you've never said it. I've never heard
like someone could look absolutely incredible on Instagram, but I know from what I do on Instagram, how many photos he's taken to get that one shot.
Yeah.
Is he pumped? Is he not? Is that a recent photo? How are they feeling inside?
Yeah.
Like I might post an amazing photo, but inside I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm drained. You don't know.
Yeah.
Because social media is social media. So rather than me getting uptight about it, I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And if you beat me on the day, I'll shake your hand.
Yeah. I love it. I think you said that perfectly there, where it's not just about the physique or the Instagram or behind it. It's on that stage. What do you do?
Yeah. Can you deliver on the day?
Yeah.
That is it.
I love that. So for me, the worst part of the whole thing is that, like you said, the nerves and the stress. But I always found the tan really stressed me out, because I would
awful.
I get a tan at say 10 a.m. and we're not on stage till 4, and like you can't sit down. You're not allowed to sit down. And I'm like, well, I can't stand up for 6 hours. I'm going to be knackered.
I would do things like, I'll be looking at the weather. Is it going to rain? It's like, okay, that's stressing me out already straight away.
Yeah.
Like people might not think it's stressful, and it might not. Okay, it's not stressful as like other things in life, but it is at the time. It is very stressful.
Yeah.
And the tan. I hate the tan, because you're cold anyway. They put the gun on you. You're freezing cold. You're scared to literally in bed or lay there like a pencil.
Yeah.
Don't move. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
And it's one of the nicest things after is having a shower.
Yeah.
That is one hell of a nice feeling.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Right. We've got, where are we? We've got 2/3 questions. One should be a quick fire question. Where are we? I know we've already done that one. What are your plans for future? Any more different, like any more competitions in terms of like, will you compete again? And then are there any titles that you haven't won which you would like to win?
I won't lie to you. I haven't really, this is not me hiding things. I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah.
I just haven't.
To be fair.
I haven't even thought about it.
Yeah.
I think in the back of my head, I won't be happy until I win the overall.
Yes.
That's what I wanted this year.
Yeah.
Didn't win it. I accept that.
Yeah.
Because I probably had a good shot at it because I won my 2 categories.
Yeah.
So I probably had a good shot at it. Didn't win it. I was like, okay, it's great. Now then, what are we going to do? Like, that's my general feeling. I can't tell you when I'm going to do another show. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I think in the back of my mind, I won't be happy until I win the entire thing.
I thought you had a really good chance. There was yourself and the guy who won, and then it was very close, very, very close. And like you say, you won both your categories, and yeah, that must have been.
I could have put myself in a better position for it.
So again,
I couldn't put myself in a better position for it. I won what I wanted to win.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And yeah, so but again, you respect the judges. God, I've been there. I've judged a show. Like, it's stressful, mate. It's hard. So like, I totally respect all the judges for everything. Go, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Also, I think I was so overwhelmed by winning 2 categories. At the time, you care, but you're not like, I'm not going to get upset if I don't win the whole thing. But I won't lie to you. I wanted to win the whole thing this year.
Yeah.
That was one of my main goals. Didn't do it. Okay, that's fine. I won what I wanted to win.
Yeah.
Now I'll go away again, and then okay, what can you do to try and win the whole thing?
Yeah. Perfect.
So I'm guessing maybe one day that'll be my main goal.
Yeah. No, I love it. Next.
But also the stress of that is you have to win a category first.
Yes.
I have no chance of winning that unless I win my category.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think
so there's goals that go into goals.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Once again, it's I think this podcast has been a very wise one so far. I think there's been a lot of learning curves. I've loved it. Final question on this sheet is: can you remember all of your competition numbers? I've got the list of numbers here as well.
You got them
down.
Oh, hang on. Okay, hang on. Well, every competition I've ever done.
It says here it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
10.
Unless there's 10. I've got 8 numbers here, so I don't know.
That's the pure elite shows. That's
pure
why.
elite shows. Okay, yeah.
I know the O2 one. I know the O2 one was 120.
Yeah.
Was my first show 147?
147.
Yeah.
Yeah. 147's here. Yeah.
My last show was, I'm going to say 184.
I haven't got that on here. 184.
It might not be then, mate. It might be wrong.
No, that's cool. No,
I can't. I've got the badges, but I can't remember. I remember the O2 one because that was just so overwhelming.
Well, no, it's.
I can still remember them calling my name out for first place.
Yeah. Amazing. Have you got anything you'd like to add? Apologies, it has gone very long on this podcast, but I really do appreciate your time. Is there anything you want to add at all?
Not really. I think you've covered most of the things that I thought you'd expect me to ask.
Oh, cool. No, I've loved it. I haven't got any other questions.
That's good, man. I enjoyed that.
It's been amazing to have you on and just kind of get to know who Dan Rayner is and what you've done to get to where you are. And I think a lot of people can benefit and see the motivation and see the determination of what hard work does.
Hopefully.
I do think a lot of people think things in life come easy to others, but as you can see, you've really gone for it. And one thing I never knew was the amount of different types of kind of competitions and different things and like different, like, how can I explain, like no amateurs, no pros, like single shows, and then different categories and
other history you didn't know about.
It's all just like I never knew that. It just sounds. And this year again, competing not in front of a crowd, and all of a sudden it's like you do your category, and then you know who wins straight away, and it's like that was crazy. It was you don't even get time to go back and kind of just it's like right, he's the winners. But no, I think it's been phenomenal.
I think one thing this year which was hard is because when I do my posing, I like to get. I have amazing friends and family. Like they'll travel, they'll come with me. Like I think at the O2 I had about 15 people in the crowd.
Yeah,
and obviously you know what it's like, especially you had a massive crowd. As soon as they start shouting your name and number, it makes you much more confident on the stage, and you go with it. You get them involved. Yeah. And like I would add that when I was practicing my routine on stage because it's freestyle. Yeah. I would plan to. At certain points on the stage, I want to get them involved. I want to get them to say my name at a certain point, so that makes me more geared up and it looks better.
Yeah.
Because couldn't do that this year. So there's me going forward, looking at Josh Blue, like, come on, mate, look at me, looking all like confident and arrogant. Like, Josh is looking at me. Like, it's not exactly the same. You can't exactly go, look at me, I'm the best. You can't do that because there's no crowd there.
Yeah.
So I felt a bit weird trying to show a bit of cheekiness when the judges are just, that's it.
I never thought of it like that. To be fair, I'm not going to lie. Again, something I learned from you was I remember seeing the picture of you next to the stage with your friends and family, and I was like, he's got a big following here. So that, again, screaming and shouting your name, and I was like, what a good idea. So again, if people are close to me, I said, right, if you want to come down, I want to support, you can. I'm not going to force anyone to come down. If you do, cool. And then, like you say, people turn up. It makes the whole experience a lot easier.
Yes. But I'm quite lucky as well because obviously a lot of the shows have been in Margate. I live in Herne Bay, it's 20 minutes away. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm quite lucky. Like, I haven't got to get a hotel. I can stay in my own house. I can prep in my own house. Yeah. All my friends and family live 20 minutes away. Yeah. No, whereas some people travel from like York, it's like 5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's again more learning curves, but man, what a history! What a history! I think it's been phenomenal. I've thoroughly enjoyed learning and like I said, getting to know you even more. I don't think I've got anything else to add. In regards to me competing, I have no idea when that's going to be due to the world's being very crazy at the moment. So I just hope everyone...
Maybe be together, mate.
Say again?
Maybe it'd be together at the same time.
Yes, that would be nice. That would be nice. I think if me and you do it, I think Brett will want to turn up as well. I know that for a fact.
So, that would stress me right out.
But now I think it'll be phenomenal. And if we don't, then it'd be good to see you in the future, even for a training session or whatever we can do and what we're allowed to do as well.
Yeah.
But no, any last words?
No, mate.
No.
All good. Yeah. I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
No worries. I really appreciate it. I'm pumped to have you on. Like I say, when you messaged me, I thought it was like straight after the show. I thought, yes, like one of the people on the list. It's like I need to get Dan on. I really want to chat to him and just to get to know you more as a person and as an inspiration to me. So you've helped me in my life with my own motivation. So I just want to say thank you to you.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much.
No, it's cool, man. I appreciate you coming on.
I still feels weird people telling me that.
No, it's
that's never gonna feel normal.
Absolutely true, though, man. Absolutely true. 100%. Big inspiration. So you inspire a lot of people. You can see it on your Instagram. You change a lot of people's lives, which is good to see, and many more in the future, I'm sure. So yeah, spot on. Right, I'll leave it there. I'm going to press stop. Thanks everyone for listening, and if you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you want to check out Dan Rayner's Instagram, I'll put his all the links on the YouTubes and the Instagrams and everywhere else. So make sure you check him out. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll wrap it up. Right. Cheers, Dan, and we'll see everyone soon.